I am good. Thank you so much for taking the time. Obviously, I'm sure it's been a long flight back from Vegas and everything. So, but I'm sure it's easier to do that when you're celebrating a big victory, right?
Yeah, it's that's what I thought. And I was in the plane with Taylor Lapillus, a former UFC fighter, and we was talking about he's now a commentator for the UFC in France. And he was saying, "Oh, that's so easy to fly when you have the victory." Because one time we went back from Monterrey, from Mexico, and that was so hard because we had that loss in a split decision, and that was so painful. I mean, the flight was so long, and this one was short because you can enjoy it, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me first off say congratulations, of course, to you and to Ciryl. What an amazing performance to go out there and do what he did. He was the big favorite. A lot of people were picking him to win, but the way he won so dominantly. I mean, did you kind of see the fight playing out the way it did? I mean, he really didn't give Derrick any chance whatsoever in that fight. It was kind of crazy.
well, coming, we know that. I mean, no, there's no way the tend they don't people don't really listen when you when it start to go up, when the fight start to grow up, because we are so many coach out there, so many agents try to hype the fighter around. So sometimes we will say a lot of things, and even there's something truth inside, people don't really believe they don't really get it, but I have such a kind word, such a very strong word talking about Ciryl, that people they should have pay attention to what I was saying 2 years ago. I mean, I have other heavyweights in the UFC. I mean, I do have Alan Bodo, but people that are not seeing me around try to hype him because I know where he stands in the division. And when this kid arrived, it was only two fights when the UFC asked me to bring him, and first asked me to bring him to the contender series, and I said no, he do not deserve the contender series. This guy, you guys will love him. Just throw him with the sharks. Let's go through. I mean, when they signed him, they asked me, "How do you want to play this? Do you want to build the kid step by step? What do you want?" How? And I'm like, "Let's go. Give me everything you got. Let's go." He's ready. Because I mean, this fight coming up, I was a little bit nervous, but not about the performance. I was nervous about um, the audience there. The Toyota Center is 80,000 people. Even they didn't sold out. There was probably more than 16,000 people. It's scary for that kind of for myself, for the kid. Everything is scary. So I was concerned about that. How going to react when people decide to boo him? I didn't really know. I know he's very strong mindset, very powerful guy. I mean, like he give the when you see him, he try to be. He's kind. He's very gentleman, and you don't know how strong he is. But I was like, well, this is the first time that someone talked to my guy and said to him, I'm going to hurt you. I want to hurt you. I don't know how you're going to react to that. So, but when we walked in with that song from Houston, that was a little bit uh, tricky for the audience to get what's going on. When we walk out and people decide to boo us, and there was the entire arena booing us, I don't know how to explain you this, but we start to sing. Like that was so good. I never experienced that ever in my life. When Because if that was a small part of group booing us, I could have thought, oh, this is the boo that they are doing to me. But what Ciryl said that he felt, and what I felt, we felt like that was an honor to have all the stadium booing us. That's like kind of welcome. Like you have to get a name to be something in order to get that kind of attention from all the audience. And that just make us happy. Like I'm pretty nervous all of 5 of my guys, but I was really pumped. I was singing. I was like, let's fucking go. Let's do this, you know. And Ciryl was doing the same thing. And geez, the atmosphere was so powerful. I mean, that was something when they shut down the light and that was the people with the phone, like recording with the light phone. That was, I cannot describe that. I don't know how to say that. You go from scary to so much happy to be there. Like, this is exceptional to be there. That's how we felt the thing going into that walking.
Yeah, it was amazing. And Ciryl was so composed in that fight. You know, listen, with Derrick Lewis, the guy hits like a truck. I mean, he is a massive power puncher, huge knockout power. The way Ciryl attacked him was so brilliant. And obviously that goes to your game plan and your strategy as well. But kind of talk to me about that. Talk to me, in terms of like the game plan and the way it played out, because I was blown away by how perfect it was. I mean, he picked him apart, and then once he had him hurt, he went for the kill. And I know you saw the striking stats. It was like 100 strikes to 4, something like that. Ridiculous. I mean, to only let the guy land 4, and I don't even remember the 4 shots he landed. I'm being honest. Like I don't remember him really hitting Ciryl.
Well, he did land a high kick, and he did land that right hand. But what we did was that in the game plan was we have 3 stages. The first stage was, okay, we play safe because Ciryl is a computer. You need to collect some data, some information before starting to get inside. So first of all, let's manage the distance. You cannot touch me. I'm touching you. You don't touch me. So that's easy for us because Ciryl, since he get in my gym, went from foot flatted to move because I didn't have a choice. If I wanted to throw him straight to the big names like I did, like he went from 0 fight to the title fight in the TKO Canada. To go there because there was a lot of there was lack of wrestling and grappling due to that he just trained 7 months in MMA. What I did was to give him the thing that can help him decide where the fight will take place, which is footwork. I mean, if Ciryl don't want to get touched, you are fucked. You will not touch Ciryl. I mean, if we have a training session at 1 p.m., I will send him in a gym at 12 p.m. to start footwork on the ground mark that I have in the gym. So it's playing around, bouncing 1 hour. I mean, it can bounce all day long if you want, because we did that like this, like 4 years. We are doing that almost all the training sessions. So it become for him like you just breathe. For him, footwork is natural. It's something that we just implemented that on his game. So this is his safety. If he ever finds someone like, let's say, Curtis Blade, that's the thing that was playing first of all. And then we start to teach him how to counterattack. Like if you came to take him down, you get caught in sort of guillotine, you get caught in some of Bravo show, you get caught anyway by something. In order to do not just be there defending, because at some point you get tired with someone who is NCAA. So the first stage of that strategy, that game plan was, okay, Ciryl, you get there, and then you manage the descent. You try to figure out how fast this guy is moving, how fast he's jumping, how quick he can just throw the punch. How many punch did he throw when he decided to be aggressive? When you figure out all this big picture, then you can start get inch by inch inside and try to dismantle him. So that was the part of the game plan, including getting in touch in the clinch against the cage, including throw some elbows, throw some knees. So everything went perfectly as I thought that would go, except that I really thought that we will cut Derrick Lewis with a head kick knockout. I mean, I really thought that by the end of the second round and the third round, Ciryl going to just cut his head off. Like, we have been working is in very mean way to kick. Like, in the first part of his career, what I brought him was, you can hit hard, but if you hit hard and then you find yourself in the horizontal on your back, you cannot hit anymore. I rather prefer you to hit a little bit less than hard, but you can reprogram yourself during in lifetime, straight lifetime. Like, you can throw a punch and then decide to do not throw it and just step back because the takedown is coming. But if you are like, I'm throwing 100%, I want to kill you, yeah, you are efficient when you cut the guy. But if you miss the guy, you're done. I mean, I was trying to just prepare the kid for what I missed as a coach when I went there with Francis Ngannou in 2018. I was trying to just figure out how to have a Predator 2.0, something different that can just be changing constantly and adapting itself very constantly. So we didn't really get surprised of that. Like, if you think when we scored the low kick, sometimes it's low kick to score a point, but this low kick was just to kill Derrick Lewis' leg. I mean, people, they're wondering about Ciryl being able to KO. They don't have to worry about. Just give him a little bit time. He was trying to get there in that spot, in that light of the number one contender on the belt. Now that he's there, there's nothing to hold on anymore. He will just be going forward and try to just finish every fight.
Yeah, you mentioned the head kick. I thought he was going to get the knockout with the elbow. He landed that elbow, I think, in the second round. I'm shocked Derrick Lewis took that elbow. I thought it was over with that because that elbow was nasty.
Yeah, they really have a chain, man. Like I said again, when you see your guy playing around, I mean, the Ciryl Gane that we saw was good, but I promise you, I'm not trying to help him. I promise you, a Ciryl Gane on state of flow, wow. I really think that no matter where you are from, who you root from, who you love, you will fall in love with Ciryl Gane when you see Ciryl Gane going on the flow state. Like, when movements and techniques start to flow and it's fine, I mean, he can do everything with elbows, but what he was doing with the head kick on this training session was just, he was about to kill all the sparring partner with the head kick. That was just such perfection what he was executing. So I thought that, I really thought that, I read that some place that I was pretty sure that's how we're going to win the fight with the head kick on Derrick Lewis. But it didn't happen, and but I'm really happy that people decide to understand that couple fights ago, if you said that Ciryl can beat Jairzinho, people, they will laugh on you. And you said that Ciryl will beat Volkov, people, they will just laugh on you, say that you're crazy, this is a soft guy. And you say that he can beat Derrick Lewis, people like, well, you never get caught by Derrick Lewis punch. But Ciryl have that ability to just annihilate things. Like, okay, I like to speak about the analogy of electricity. I study on engineering electricity. So when they tell you about electricity, what they explain you is that, oh, the high level of electricity can burn you and kill you. But if you have the right isolation, whatever you want to do, if you touch that with a plastic, caoutchouc, then you have no problem anymore. You just have to find a way to isolate yourself to that tension in the electricity. And that's the thing. Whenever someone brings you the trade with saying to you, oh, I have this right hand, well, let's do this. I just do this, and then you give me whatever you want with your right hand, and I'm free to just pick you apart. That's the thing. I mean, he's able to be out of the range, pick you apart, but if he decides to come in, he's so smart that I just have to give him the key of what is the isolation between him and the fighter, and it's over. He will just apply that like you have a computer. It's over. So I really think the MMA industry do not recognize that yet, but people, they are about to witness the next big thing that will not, I mean, Ciryl is the official. And no matter where you are from, who you are, at some point, you're going to be admirative of what this kid can bring on the table.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was amazing. And it's so crazy to think about him being, so young when he joined the UFC roster. I was writing about him yesterday, and I was just looking up his stats, and I kind of forgot. Like, he was so young, and what he's done in such a short amount of time is amazing. He literally grew up in the UFC in such a short amount of time. To see him come out there now holding a championship, it's amazing. The 10 fights in his career. It's crazy. But you said you wanted that for him. You wanted him to jump in the deep end on day one. You knew he was ready for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, this is how I see the thing. There's a lot of kids showing up on your gym, and they ask you that they want to be the next thing. They want to be in the UFC. And what I like to say is that I don't want you to ask me to sacrifice my time and everything, and then to beg me to try to pick your opponent. There's no way to pick any opponent. If you want to do this, like I said again, my boy, my guy, he's my guy. I love him so much. He's my student, but he's my friend, Alain Bodo. When we got in the UFC, that was Thomas Pinal straight. Thomas Pinal, Tom the fucking Aspinal. This is the next thing. He's very strong, very agile, black belt in jiu-jitsu, very kick good. But I'm like, Alan, let's not do this if you're not ready. Like, if you do this, it's to be the number one. Let's go there and get tested. I mean, like Nasruddin Imavov, yes, he was ranked like 110, something like that. And I just signed the contract against Yanni Anish, who was 19 in the ranking. And he had like jump 100 yank, and now he probably going to fight a top 10 in the UFC in middleweight. That's my way to manage this kid. That my way is to say, okay, you want to do this, don't think about how to fight someone who match your level. Think about how to match your level to the biggest fighter that you have on top of you, and then you go there to try to take them out.
Absolutely. I love that. And obviously now Ciryl, is one part of the heavyweight championship, and the next fight, of course, everyone's going to talk about it, Fernand. Of course, it's going to be the showdown with Francis Ngannou, a guy, of course, you know very well. You brought up Francis, you trained Francis. But let me ask you on a personal level, is this weird already? Just because you spent so much time with Francis and getting him to where he's at, and now you've got Ciryl. I mean, I know they trained together, they were teammates for a while. But you as a coach, it's a different thing for you because you brought both of them up. Now, obviously, you're still coaching Ciryl, but is this weird for you to even think about, knowing that two of your students, even though you don't train with Francis anymore, he is still your student? I mean, you brought him up. Is it weird to think that two of your students are going to fight?
Absolutely, I don't know how to explain it. It's not the term weird is not the really thing who come in my mind. It's like um because I found some pride on that. It's not something bad for me. Like, to be honest with you, uh people, they are meant to find their paths, walk their paths, find their family, feel good somewhere. If a fighter asks me where is the best gym for me, I will say to him, you will know. As soon as you find your place, your home, you know this is your home. And and people, they really misunderstand my what they call what was called my beef with Francis. They think that I had the beef with Francis when he left my gym, but they are too wrong. I mean, this is me again finding myself talking about this while I decide to do not talk about it ever. This is the thing. I got split with, I mean, long time ago, Francis, and when Francis arrived in my gym and was starting to train, he had two goals in only his life: be professional boxer and live in America. That was his two dreams. I mean, like Francis always had the dream, American dream. He dreamed so strongly about America. For him, living in America was the most achievement that you can have. So when he finally had that 2-3 fight win in the UFC, he asked me, I want to go in the US. Can you help me with this? And I said, yes, no problem. And he said, will you come with me? No, I can't, but I will help you. Like, I started to make some calls. Have him. It was hesitant. I don't know where to go. Do you think I want to be in Vegas? And I was like, do you want to go in LA? Do you want to be in California? Do you want to, because I have very strong base there. Like, I have my man, Thierry Sukuju, the former UFC fighter, former Bellator. Ramos Sukuji is from Cameroon. Like, oh, so I was like, oh, do you want to go to Team Quest? Maybe do some, he can, you know. And he was like, no, I probably want to go in Nevada, in Vegas, so I can be there close to the UFC office, so I can be there with the PI. I can enjoy all the. So I started to make some call to have him together. I eventually called DC to see, to ask him, do you want, I mean, can you go to the AK maybe? And he was like, I don't know, because there's many heavyweight there in the AK. But this is just to let you know, I don't have any problem with my guy moving in another gym. People, they really misunderstanding my point of view. So I don't have any beef on that. The problem that I had with Francis, which is over my head now, was about recognize people that help you to grow a little bit.
Sure.
It's not about thank you. It's about, this is your podcast that you're doing, and you will go to talk to a coach that just had a fighter who is making the belt and will fight for the undisputed title in the world. But sometimes you will have in your show people that are not well known, because you want to make them get that platform they can express themselves. You are not asking them to give you money. You are not begging them to say thank you, but that will please you sometime to catch some word saying, oh, this kid said that his management was Management Factory. This kid said that his gym was MMA Factory. That can help you in your process on your podcast. There's so many podcasts out there. You need someone to give you a shadow, like this is, you know. And before going out with this, I went there to speak with Francis sometime. Like, Francis, is this normal? I mean, I was wondering, is there any problem? Like, we spent like 5 years together. I mean, like in my gym, you never pay anything. Everything is free for you. I took you in my wing, take care of you, everything. What's so bad for you? What is so hard for you to say that Fernand Lopez brought me the UFC contract? Why will you say to a journalist that they ask you how you get to the UFC? You're like, well, I was just fighting. I was winning fight, and then I got the call of the UFC. Is there something wrong? Because do you remember the story? Do you remember me fighting to get you in the UFC when you was 3-1? And then Joe Silva said me no when you was 4-1, when you were 5-1. And then I eventually called a friend of mine, Thiago Kamura, and merged with him in order to get you in the UFC. Do you remember that I called you and said to you, hey, Francis, how are you doing today? Happy birthday. And I asked you, I have a present for you? And you asked me, oh, you bought me the computer, coach. And I said, no, I have even better than computer. And he said, what is that? I said, I have your UFC contract. And he said, oh, but I thought that because you are MMA Factory, they just send you an email, but I didn't know that you was fighting to me to get the contract. I'm like, okay, from now, this is the story that this is the truth. I mean, you know the truth. But never mentioned that. Like, I'm like, Ciryl, Francis, do you know that when you are not mentioning your gym or your management, you're giving me hard time to leave? I mean, it's painful for me to ask such a thing. I don't ask that. You don't ask people to be grateful to you. You're supposed to do not ask it, because then you look like you're only talking about the light and this and that. You just want to show yourself. No, you make me uncomfortable talking about this, but I really want to get to you and ask you, is there something wrong? You're like, no, coach, I don't know. I just forget. I don't know. I don't have that in mind. That was the conflict that we had at some point, but nothing else. And then that's fight. That fight come with Stipe. We had the fight, and then after the fight, the same thing goes again. I had him in the press conference say to the journalists, congratulations for Stipe. He had a very good game plan. I was like, fuck, are you kidding me? I mean, I give you the game plan. I was begging you when I found that you don't follow the game plan. That gym, I called the other coach. We had a meeting. They beg you to follow the game plan. And you said that, no, you don't need to go to the school to beat someone. That's what you said with your word. And you said that, I know that with the reflex, I will take him out. So when they start to touch me, you could have said, well, this is my fault. Sorry, guys. Don't blame only my coach. It's his fault also, because this is my camp. I'm the boss of the camp. If my father lose a fight, I lose a fight with him. I need to stick with him. But in that case, there's so many fighters. They apologize at the corner, man. Like you can. Mark Earned, or so many guys that say, okay, I apologize today to my coach. I didn't follow the game plan,
Yeah.
So I was like, why don't you say something? I mean, why? But it didn't. And I'm bringing that up just because to let you know, actually, there was no really beef before leaving the gym. Those two gentlemen, Ciryl Gane, Francis Ngannou, was sparring together time to time. If that fight happened, I would be a little bit nervous for my boy, which is Ciryl Gane, because every time that someone that you get in your heart fight, you're kind of scary, no matter how cool you are with the performance that it can make. So I will be kind of nervous. but that will not be personal for me, and even not at all personal for Ciryl Gane, which I was always begging to do not get involved in that sort of beef, because I want him to be clear on his mind. There's nothing there. There's just a friend, a brother saying to his brother, come on, what's wrong with you? I mean, give a shout out to someone. When you become someone, help people. If today something happened to me and I die and they ask me, who do you brought? Who did you help in your life? What did you do to people, to your community? I will say that I didn't bring this kid. And now I'm so proud Francis can help people. He was going for boxing. I was paying him to make the MMA, literally giving him money to beg him that please have the jiu-jitsu session. So I'm proud to have been the one to help him and give him the patience to get to the UFC and now become what it is what is helping a lot of people have his a non-profit organization, have so many things that he's doing. He can feed people, help his family, help people. I'm proud of that. I'm proud to do that to other many guys that come from Africa. And I mean, they are not celebrity. I have when Francis shows up in my gym, he was with two guys at the same period. The guy they are playing rugby, and now they are playing rugby in France as professional. No one knows about them, but I'm proud because I give them something to do in life. What I was about to say, that was something saying to your brother, is there something wrong to give a light a little bit to people walking around you so they can grow up a little bit? That's it. But if you take that out, nothing special. I think the fight will be a good fight. You cannot get better fight than this one at this point. You cannot. I mean, even people that were doubting in Ciryl Gane after the masterclass that he just showed 2 days ago, you cannot keep doubting on Ciryl Gane. This is something. This is the fight to make. So I will be there, sad to have my two kids speaking. Kids like they were born in the MMA Factory, facing each other. But again, I like to speak like Ciryl Gane in this case, because I'm learning a lot about this with this kid. Like, this is only a sport. It's like you was playing tennis or you was going for a basketball, and you're just going to play basketball. Stop thinking about being angry or being so. This is how I see this. There will be a performance that will be good for French MMA. That will be good for Africa MMA. That will be good for MMA community anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, again, odds, favorite, underdog, that kind of stuff really doesn't matter. But right after Cyryl's fight, the first odds for his fight with Francis came out, and Cyryl's favored to win. They have Ciryl favored to win that fight. Now, listen, we all know Francis. He's a phenomenal athlete, incredible knockout power. He's obviously a great champion in his own right, but it says a lot about Ciryl that, people now are believing in him. People believe he can beat Francis Ngannou. People believe he will beat Francis Ngannou. That says a lot about Ciryl as a fighter, the belief people are showing him now, right?
Absolutely. You will be crazy if you sleep on Francis, you will be crazy to do that. That's not a smart move to do. I'm not sure there's anyone out there who knows Francis as I know him. I'm not sure. That may happen, but I'm not sure. And Francis is a strong dude. Is something. He's very strong, and that's how serious I am when I'm talking about that fight, about my job. Like, Francis is something. There's couple of gap on his game, very slight, very small gap on his game, but not that much. So Ciryl Gane, all my camp, better take this seriously. That will not be easy, no matter the odds, what the odds say. I definitely understand that they are right to give Ciryl Gane favorite because he is favorite. I mean, he's okay. You saw Francis Ngannou hitting a high kick on Stipe Miocic, and you saw him sprawl and taking Ciryl Stipe Miocic back. And people they will say to you, "Oh, wow, he improved so much. He's a killer now." I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, of course he did improve. Of course, Extreme Couture did a hell of a job calming him down. They did work him and how to say correct. They did help him to believe on his team. That's the best thing to do. Believe on his team. But I'm completely affirmative. The same way that Ciryl Gane became champion in the very first shot, even his interim belt, the same way Francis would have beat Stipe Miocic in 2018 if he had followed the game plan. Simple as that. What I'm saying to you is that the slight difference as I was talking is about what your body allows you to do. Whatever they teach you, if you start to jump from a plane with the parachute when you are 5-year-old, I can't match with you because when I start to jump, when I'm 42, it's too late. I'm fucking scary to death when I go out to the plane. That's the simple thing. If you go back to the open workout with Francis, with me at the time, he throws everything. High kick, spinning elbow, back fist, spinning kick, everything. Submission, everything. Heel hooks, everything. I can give you all the footage. But when the shit hits the fence, he's not doing that. This is not him. He's going straight to 1-2, sometimes just 2, straight, 2-3, because this is his DNA. You can change someone. Being able to throw kicks, elbow, oblique kicks, spinning kicks, spinning this, that's something that Ciryl Gane can do because very young on his age, he was already an athlete. Did football, American football, did soccer, played basketball, was doing swimming. He can do everything. And his limitation of what movement he can do, even in the big stage when he's fighting for a title, are no limit. The guy just pulled out a spinning back kick to Derrick Lewis on his hometown with 16,000 people out there. Just tell you how composed it is. He is. So, yeah, I really think that we will not count out. I mean, like, we just went back. I had already the meeting with the conditioning guy. Ciryl Gane will start next week with the conditioning, taking some strength, putting some weight on him, keeping moving on the feet. We don't know already. We don't know the date yet, but I'm taking that camp seriously as that.
Yeah. Before I let you go, Fernand, let me ask you about the impact of Cyryl's win and obviously the fight with Francis on French, MMA, because obviously the MMA Factory has been a big part of MMA in France. Of course, we know, the sport is now legal there. Unfortunately, with what we're dealing with the pandemic, I don't know if we're going to get to see this fight in France, although it would be amazing if this could happen in Paris. But just in general, for Ciryl to become heavyweight champion in the UFC, which of course is the biggest organization, how big is this, for French MMA, for other athletes in France to see a guy like Ciryl do what he did and to follow in his footsteps? I'm sure you've seen it, in the impact in your gym already.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, you know the drill. Whenever there's a champion in karate, in judo, or whatever you have as a martial art or sport, you will have a lot of increase on the membership in the gym. You will have a lot of professional fighter calling me to shows up in Paris and have camp in Paris. You have a lot of and then again, Ciryl is a very good ambassador. The guy is very kind, like generally kind and very composed and very gentleman. Speak very well French. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to have him be fluent in English, so you can get his sense of humor. I mean, he's the guy is, you can dream up our better ambassador than Ciryl Gane. I'm not sure you can do that. He's bringing in France the emotion that I think you saw the highlight of French journalists in the UFC 265 when they was commenting the fight. This what happened. I mean, including in Africa. Ciryl Gane is not from Africa, it's from Caribbean. But because I'm from Africa and I have a lot of fan base in Africa, they send me a bunch of video of people in the street watching that fight. So many, I mean, like a lot of bad, there were people out of the place watching the fight and rooting for us. So the impact is very good in France, in Africa, and I think that will come at some point in America.
Absolutely. Fernand, congratulations again to you and to Ciryl on an amazing performance. It was an incredible victory for him and for the entire gym, the MMA Factory, of course, and you as his head coach. Congratulations again. I know you as a coach, you don't really get days off. I'm sure you'll probably be back in the gym in a day or two, but enjoy this victory. You guys earned it. It was amazing. I look forward to the fight with Francis, hopefully before the end of the year. And thank you again for doing this. I know, like I said, we're on such different time zones, but I appreciate you jumping on and doing this with me. Congratulations again. And thank you so much for taking the time. I really, really do appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you very much. And you guys are doing a good job, and to develop the MMA, the largest, the MMA to become a mainstream. We need people like you who is putting a good job there to make this sport be well known. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Coach. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Bye bye.